Gonna work out here.
And let me get my notes, because Chad done wrote notes.
Oh Lord, really, Rachel?
I
I
think.
mean, for the questions.
Wait, I think it's. Hold on. I think it's setting up. Hold on.
It says talking about. It says you went live already. For the
Yeah.
questions.
Wait, I think it's. Hold on. I think it's setting up. Hold on. Oh Lord.
It says talking about. It says you went live already. For the questions.
Yeah.
I just thought. Okay, I had to turn the. Can you hear me still?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to turn the mute button down on because it was. I heard feedback from both of them. All right, so I think we on here, y'all. We on this joint.
Okay, so am I gonna be able to see the comments that everybody makes?
If you look on your hold on.
Girl, let me put on this hold on.
Yeah, people.
Oh Lord.
Y'all on this joint. People joining already.
Because they nosy.
Who joined so far? Let me look.
Be funny. Wait, let me put on. Oh, Rachel, you up there? Let me put on our theme music, girl. Hold on.
Okay.
It's only like 30 seconds, so I gotta do it real fast.
Oh God.
Just that fast. Why don't we have no longer theme song?
Girl, you gotta put it on replay.
Right.
Woo, so funny. All right, all right. So hello, everybody. Let me see. Is it doing it? Is it on, y'all?
It says live, Facebook Live, yes.
Well, why I can't see it? Hold on. I'm trying to refresh my page so I can see what's going on. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, I think we're good. Is it still? Okay. All right. Just making sure, y'all. This is something new, so we just trying to make sure this joint is working. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. Is it still?
Also, wait a minute, Siobhan. I'm about to pull it up now to see you, girl.
Huh? Yeah, you should
Oh Lord.
see it now. Okay. Sorry, y'all. We just had to get this. This is something new that we're trying. So we just want to make sure.
Yeah, I can see you. I can see you. Everything looks great.
Okay. So
I don't see us.
I know. I don't know why it does that. So whenever somebody's talking, it's just going to keep switching back and forth.
Oh, I see. I got you.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll have to do it that way. So I wish it was set up so where we can all be on there together, but it doesn't do it like that. Okay. All right. So hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. We about to have some fun tonight. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you don't know who I am Siobhan Carter, the You Relationship Coach, and I am passionate about all things relationships, especially the relationship with yourself. So I always talk about relationship somethings every Wednesday. And tonight I have my girls on here because we are all three of us are single. So we're going to talk about being single in the city tonight. So let's start out with introduction. So Rachel, which one want to go first?
I can go first. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So my name is Rachel Browning. I am 40 years old. I'm actually still high and excited about that. I turned 40 in March. I've been single for quite some time now, and definitely looking and definitely want to move into something different. But just continuing just to wait for the right person to come along as well. I also too want to note that I am a very fun-loving person. I love to laugh. Everybody knows that I love to laugh and I love to crack jokes. I talk trash. I can back the trash up and everything. And I'm just excited this evening just to be able just to share my experiences. Being single. I like to call it the day in the life of single life or Rachel's life or whatever. Rachel's single chronicles, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just looking forward to the conversation this evening.
Okay. I hear an echo in the background. Is somebody computer on?
Mine is on mute.
Is that your computer?
It could be me. Hold on. Okay, I turned it off.
Okay. All right. Cool. That was
Like,
hearing. All right. Thank you, Rachel, for sharing who you are. So, Ro, who are you?
I am Ronesshia, the life and times of Romo, my so-called dating life. Haha. 40, happily divorced, and dating. Been divorced. Gosh, I lose track. 5 years, I think. I'm the jokester, the person that keeps everybody laughing. Because life is too short. Been through a lot, so time out for being sad and upset. So that's about it.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
That's a real talk. And my cousin said, tell a joke then, Rachel. He said, since you full of jokes and stuff, tell one.
You don't want Rachel to tell these
just
jokes
Malcolm?
tonight.
No, my cousin D-Lo.
Wait a minute, D-Lo. You ain't seen all that stuff I posted?
That's why I was like, this is not appropriate for tonight.
Oh, man. So we're about to have a good time. So first of all,
shout out to Christine, one of my coworkers, tuning in.
Hey, Christine. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Jennifer.
And
hey,
Charlize.
Hey, I'm Dwayne. My cousins are on here. Tamara, Jennifer, everybody. Hey, y'all. Y'all tuning in for this shenanigans tonight. Mm-hmm.
I apologize ahead of time. I promised my mama I would not embarrass her. So that's
all right. So let's talk about, and I think you already said it in your introductions, but how long have you been single? First of all, let's establish that first.
Dating. I've dated on and off, but I have not been in anything committed for 6 years.
Ooh, girl, for real.
Oh, we gotta fix that, Jesus.
6, you mean like sick, the number 6?
Don't do that, Siobhan.
Yes, S-I-X.
Okay.
So I've been divorced 5 years, dated a couple of people since then, but they haven't worked out. So back to being single and ready to mingle. Ha.
Yes. Let me think. Wait, how long have I been single, y'all? Okay, define single. You mean like not married?
The IRS and Jesus Christ say I'm single as long as I'm not married. So it's been 5 years.
Okay. All right. You're right. So wait, let me think. So it's been 4 years for me. It's been 4.
Yeah.
I'm married for 4 years. Yes. I got divorced in 2014. So I dated, I've been, was in a little relationship or whatever last year. But yeah, I'm real single. Mm-hmm.
Real single.
Real single, like in real life, like for real. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, so the dreaded question, why are you single?
Well, first of all, I can say various reasons. At one point in time, I had a demanding job. So my commitment was just always there, just making sure that everything was up and running. And, there was just nothing really time for personal. Also, too, just a couple of disappointments. So I kind of myself, I have to be very honest. I wanted to take a break. Just a couple of situations that didn't evolve into anything. And I just kind of wanted to take my time to reevaluate myself. What is it that I really wanted, in someone, in a relationship? And I also, in that time, got to know myself, do a self-inventory of myself, because, of course, I'm not perfect as well. So just continue to work on myself. So I would say that's the reason that I'm single.
Yeah. Okay. Just working on yourself and just, letting it go where it goes.
Yeah, and just letting it come natural. Like, I'm not necessarily, even though that's something that I am interested in for myself, I'm not saying that I'm just actively looking. Like, if it comes, it comes.
Okay. And Ro, why are you single?
So we're not going to talk about the divorce. We're not going to talk about it. Other than to say the marriage just didn't work out. I'm going to be nice. Bless the Lord. And since then, I think part of it is I did a lot of work on myself before the marriage ended and after. In the last 5 years, stuff I didn't realize about myself before. Some stuff I liked, some stuff I didn't. I'm definitely a different person having gone through marriage and divorce. But I also probably have a little bit of runaway bride syndrome. Like people get too close and I'm like, I kind of like you, but let's not, we don't have to do all that.
And that's so that happens whether you've been married or you've been in a long-term relationship before. And when it doesn't work out, it's kind of hard to get back out there and just open your heart and be like, oh my God, I just want to love you with all my heart. And I'm just so open and
Girl.
I don't have trust issues. You know, it's like, wait, hold on. I'm real cautious.
I don't know you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So talk about that. Like after you've been in a long-term relationship or been in a marriage, and then it's like, okay, you know, you've gone through your process and probably still going through your process, but opening yourself up to date again. You know, what is that process like getting out there?
It's hard because you never know what you're going to get. I do online dating, which most people know because I'm open about it. But even meeting people that people know, you don't know these people, and people send their representative a lot of the time. So you get the representative, and then 6 months in, you like, who are you, sir? Where did you come from? Because this is not the person I met. And I'm very keen to red flags now. So if I see any kind of red flag, I'm out. I don't even want to even go there. Although some of my friends, one of them, her name is Nefertaria, would tell me that I'm a little jumpy about things that aren't necessarily red flags, and I'm probably using that as an excuse to run.
Because it's like you become guarded, you know, you become real suspicious about people, and you start to create things that may not be there, but you know, it happens. Yeah.
Don't call me one time and you got a whole wife and 4 kids and I'm concerned.
Like that's what the story becomes in your mind about.
Like there's a whole other life that I need to know about, because why you ain't call me when you say he was, even though you called like 10 minutes later. I don't know what's going on.
You said you got a whole wife and like 4 kids at home just because. Oh, that's hilarious. So let's talk about this online dating, because Ro is like the online dating guru, especially in our group Single Life, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But let's talk about online dating. If you had to give, first of all, let's talk about experiences for online dating, and then we'll give some tips, or you'll give us some tips about good online dating practices.
So I've only had one like terrible experience, because the guy sent me pictures from like 5 years ago. And he was not that person. Not that he was a bad looking person, but now that you send me pictures and you don't look like yourself, I don't trust you. But only 2 ended up being like real relationships. One lasted 7 months and one was close to 2 years. I like it because I'm busy and I can scroll through and swipe through, and I don't have to waste time talking to you if I know it's not going anywhere. It's easy for me, and that's probably part of the runaway bride syndrome too. I don't have to put myself out there as much. Yeah,
that's true. Rachel, have you tried online dating?
No, I have not tried online dating. However, I'll say this. I know someone who did online dating, and she's now married. I hear good things about it. I also hear bad things about it. So I don't necessarily, I haven't necessarily formed an opinion about it. I just know that I have kind of entertained the idea of it, but I haven't necessarily indulged in it yet. So I'm still thinking about it. I was talking to Ro about it. And I was like, I don't know. Let me think about it. But no, I have not done it yet. But you know, like I get mixed reviews on it.
Yeah. Because everybody has different experiences. Because I've tried online dating before a couple of times, and I just opened up an account. I said I wasn't gonna never go back on there, but
told you.
I did open up an account. I'm easing my way back into dating, so I did open up an account. So I've tried Tinder. That's where I met the guy that I was in the last relationship with. And it seemed to work out, for me. But then I'm on another one because people talk about it all the time, which is blackpeoplemeet.com. And they got the commercials. We met on blackpeoplemeet.com. Like, hey, let me just try that. So what other sites have you tried, Ro, that have worked out for you?
Probably all of them. At some point or another, just because I'm curious about what I might be missing. So Black People Meet, eHarmony. I did Match for a little while, and that just wasn't good. For whatever reason. Which is why I tell most of my friends, if your Match might not be the place for African American women to start. Just because there weren't a lot of matches for long-term relationships for me that I saw. Plenty of Fish. I tried Christian Mingle, and then this dude cursed me out because I wouldn't give him my phone number, so I had to get off that.
Wait a minute. He said, "Don't let this site name fool you. I'm gonna still curse you out. That don't mean nothing."
And I couldn't even respond because by the time they had blocked him, so evidently I wasn't the only person he had cursed out that day. I couldn't even respond back because I was over there like, oh, crazy. I'm trying to think what else. I was on Tinder for a minute. I didn't really like it, but I did go out with the guy from there once. Trying to think what else. That's about it recently.
Okay. That I did try one, bagel meets coffee meets bagel.
So I have friends who've tried it. I was in a relationship when they started talking about it, so I haven't. I probably need to add it to my phone tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot for us.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
I got up there pretty quickly because it just, and Plenty of Fish was overwhelming. As soon as I logged on and created an account, it was like I was swarmed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, woo, wait, okay, I'm gonna just, I lasted probably about a day on that one.
Oh, wow. See, and I guess we'll get into what I don't do in a minute, but for me, I'm like, oh, he crazy, and I just go by it. It doesn't affect me at all, because I don't know him, he don't know me.
Yeah.
So, I just be like, he look crazy on here, swipe to the left.
Because I guess with online dating, it's easy for you to just kind of quickly weed through certain people. Not that they're like animals or whatever, but it's like, our time is precious, so we want to be able to feel people out rather than we're not wasting energy on people that are crazy or just we're not compatible with, I would say.
Right.
Yeah. So what are some tips if somebody is watching this and they want to try online dating like Rachael and is feeling a little skeptical, a little hesitant about it? What are some tips that you would give them, Ro?
So I used to listen to a show on Oprah Radio on XM by Dr. Laura Berman. Her and her sister are doctors, and she's a sex doctor. And she used to have a segment like every Wednesday or Thursday on online dating. And she had a lady come on and talk about the profile and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And I implemented some of that, and it made a world of difference. So this is what I tell everybody all the time. First of all, don't be boring on your profile. Because men they are visual. You need good pictures. You cute in person, so your pictures need to show that. But show the real you. I had to put a mixture of made up pictures and regular me because the made up pictures they would be mad if they saw me and be like, you don't look like yourself. I don't feel like anyway. And just be honest about what you want. If you know you don't want a one night stand, figure out a way to say that on your profile without sounding, crazy, but that's not what you're looking for. Make sure you include hobbies a little bit to get to know you so they can get to know you, but you ain't got to tell all your business at one time. But men are visual, so good pictures are important because that's the first thing they go to, and then they go back and read about you.
Yeah.
They don't really, this is just honest. They don't really look at your words until they be like, oh, she's cute, she's beautiful, let me go see what she got to say. And proofread your stuff before you put it out there. I know I'm a grammar snob, but some men are too. So
yeah, that's true. Now, what would you say to those who have inbox stuff that is real crazy, like some guy or woman is coming after them real crazy in the inbox? Like, how would you recommend people respond to those kind of things?
See, because that never happens to me. I think people know I'm crazy, so they like, I can't send that to her because I'll put you on blast on Facebook and make it a public post. But for me, if I don't know them, I'll, just say, please don't send it to me, blah, blah, blah. I don't take it personal because maybe they liked what they saw on my profile. I don't know what would give them the idea that I would receive that, but that's not appropriate for this kind of whatever you're trying to do. Maybe you should try it again on someone else, but don't do this. I'm a person who offers corrections when people do crazy stuff, like suggestions, like perhaps you should do this the next time instead of that. And then I just delete it and block them. For me, I don't take stuff personal anymore because people do stupid stuff. And I don't know them, so why am I going to waste energy on people I literally don't know? Anything but what they post online.
Yeah. Your mom just joined. Hey,
oh, God. Hey, Mama.
Hey, Mama. But one of the things that I have been intentional about that I said I'm going to practice, because if nothing else, I think dating, online dating helps you learn how to communicate with the opposite sex. So, like rejection too. So let's say, for example, I'm giving an example that happened today. So me and this guy were communicating, and he finally came out and said, we have been communicating since yesterday, just, random conversation. And he finally came out after I asked him more about himself and shared that he was separated. And him and his wife were going through a divorce. And he was like, I understand if you can't handle this situation or whatever. And so I was like, you know what? Normally, I probably would have just not responded and be like, okay, you got something going on. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to use my words and I'm going to learn how to communicate. So I told him, I was like, I appreciate you sharing with me and being honest with me about your situation. But you know what? I'm going to have to keep my distance now that I understand the situation, because, you being separated, to me, that means you're still married. So I don't really want to get involved with that, but I appreciate communicating with you. And he was like, I understand. I said, I hope you can understand. And he was like, yeah, I totally understand. So it's like, I'm learning how to communicate instead of just shutting down, which is my go-to,
Right. Well, prime example, I told you about the 57-year-old who sent me a message.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's way out of my age range. And usually I wouldn't respond, but it was such a nice message. I felt like I had to, so I sent a message this morning and said, you're out of my age range. My mother is 63, probably not the age I want to go to. If he was younger, it would definitely have been a possibility, but 57 is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what you thinking, Rachel, hearing all this dialogue, what comes to mind for you?
Like I said, I'm considering it. Like I said, I entertained the idea of online dating, so we'll see. We'll see. Okay. And I know Ro can help me with my profile.
Ro, your mom said, "Dang, 57."
I told you, see.
That's hilarious. My mom just turned 57, so it's like, wait a minute, no, Daddy.
So you're an old. I don't want to say old person, but I call my mother old. I can't. It's not happening. I can see my mama now. Me bringing a 57-year-old man to the house, she would be like, Ronesshia, really? Who this man?
He said, who this? Oh man. So speaking of online groups, the three of us are a part of an amazing group. We're a part of several groups, but one that we are very active in.
Sorry,
I be adding in the groups. But one that we are really active in is single life groups. So
my mama is hilarious. She mad because I told her age.
She said you ain't had no disclosure agreement to share that type of information.
Hey, Beyonce.
But one group that we're a part of is called Single Life Group. So shout out to Erica Carr, who started that group and is always posting stuff to keep us engaged. So and in that group is just a bunch of singles, men and women, and we talk about things that we deal with on a daily basis. So what would you say are some of the benefits of being in a group like that?
I like it because it definitely allows you to get a perspective from a male. That's what I like about it. Mm-hmm. Especially like if you were kind of not so open-minded about things. If you kind of put a post out there or a question out there and they chime in on, their opinions, I can say for the most part, some of the women kind of have the same perspective or ideas, but then they generally come in with something different, and it kind of brings light to the situation.
Yeah. So what about for you, Ro? What do you like about the group?
So I'm a person who asks questions, like why they do that, because that's stupid. So instead of me asking somebody I might like, I can go in the group and be like, I got a question. This happened, and before I go off or go off the deep end, what am I supposed to do? And I definitely think, like Rachel said, everybody has a different point of view for the men. So, and they're all age ranges, so you get, different perspectives. And even the women, sometimes they like, okay, you just need to bring that on down.
But you know what I also like about it? One, that we're all in there and we're single and we are kind of dealing with some of the same struggles. So it's almost like a support group for each other, because we share, what's going on, and we're always talking about like different scenarios and stuff like that, just to see, what you would do. What's your mom saying?
My mama is hilarious. Okay.
You said leave those crazy online linemen alone. I know that's right, Ma.
Don't do it. And shout out to Christy, another one of my friends who joined. Really, Mama?
But it helps, being single and having those communities that we can be a part of, whether it's online or even in person. It helps to have some type of single community so you can be around like-minded people.
Yep.
And like Rachel said, it's guys in there too. So I think we learn from each other because we're always sharing our perspectives and opinions. So we're hearing each other, and it's like some really good, healthy interaction in the group. So I really, really enjoy just the dialogue that goes on, the laughing. We get silly and crazy. And so if you're on here, you're watching and you're looking for a nice, healthy group. Now, you gotta
do the disclaimer. Here you go.
It's not a ratchet group, so you ain't mean to have all kind of crazy stuff in there. But we some good people with moral values and stuff like that. So it's not gonna get, it's not gonna get too crazy. So if you're looking for a group that you just want to connect with like-minded people and you're single, check out the Single Life group. Shout out to Erica Carr again. Okay.
Hey, Erica.
Hi, Erica.
Yeah, so it's fun, and we need that kind of stuff because being single is challenging. So speaking of that, what are some of the challenges about being single?
I would say definitely loneliness plays a factor in there. Mm-hmm. I mean, you do have your times where you're like, yes, I'm glad, like I don't have to deal with certain things and stuff like that, especially if you see like a friend or a family member or something going through some challenges. But definitely I would say loneliness at times. Also too, when, people ask you, I mean, it's like, why are you single? I mean, even, guys, that like, trying to hit on you, why are you single? What's wrong with you and stuff like that.
Oh, they don't want that life.
You mean when they come at you with that question, they don't want that life?
No, they don't.
Yes. And I would say those are generally some of the challenges. I mean, even if you have a hard day at work or something, it would be nice to be able to come home to somebody, to talk to them. Yeah. Just to, say this is what happened, some words of encouragement or some type of comfort or something like that, I would say. And just to have the companionship, just to go out, hang out, be friends, chill, have a good time. That's what I would say that I would find is challenging about it.
Yeah. And that's real. That loneliness is real, and I'm glad you said that. And it's like, even when, we can be working on ourselves and doing all the stuff that they tell you to do, when you're single, make sure you strengthen your relationship with God and, go to therapy and all this kind of stuff. But that does not take away the emotions that come with it, sometimes. And we can learn healthy coping mechanisms. But the reality is this joint, you get lonely. You want somebody, some legs, and some biceps up around you and stuff.
Biceps and triceps.
Wait a minute, hold up. Not the biceps, though.
Ooh, so what about you, Ro? What are some of the challenges you face?
So I'm a set. So I have an identical twin sister. So for me, because she doesn't live here, for me, companionship is a very big deal. And my ex-husband and I were, she just joined. Hey, sister.
Hey, sister.
She's also in the single life group. My ex-husband and I were friends for a long time before we got married. So, I mean, like, we hung out and just had fun. I miss that part of it because I'm a person who goes out, not partying so much. I do party, but just having a good time and just riding out. And I miss that. And I don't like taking my car places. I don't like taking out the trash, pumping gas. I got to call somebody to fix stuff. I'm just not. My uncles ain't here, so who am I going to call? And all my guy friends got married. So.
And that's hoping that the guy that you do meet knows how to do that kind of stuff.
Well, call somebody, at least make the phone call so I don't have to. They asking me questions, sir. I don't know. It's just not coming on.
Right. Like that time, I had the time when my hot water heater was leaking and just all this water just started gushing out everywhere. Ain't know what to do. Had to call my mama because I didn't know what to do, and didn't have
call
like, Lord, my daggone condo about to flood and I don't know what to do. So yeah, just little stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to think what's the challenging part for me. I was probably the same thing y'all said, just the loneliness, the companionship, desiring that. And not to say that once we do get in a relationship, we won't experience some of those emotions, but still just talking about right now, right here today and now. And that's why the community of singles is so important too, because we can kind of be there for each other in those times, make each other laugh and talk and just have that, I guess, virtual companionship with each other. We
laugh a lot.
Yeah, we laugh a lot. We definitely laugh a lot. And you know what else? I just thought about something that helps, and not to say that this hasn't happened yet, I don't think, about love connections being made in the group. But
Lord.
No, it's
you
get to see
how
people think. I'm just saying, you can see how people think, you watch their responses and stuff and be like, oh, okay, I kind of like how he responded to that. And then you hit them up in the DM, if you feeling them like that. So it just...
Well, who is hitting people up in the DM? Because mine is like the desert right now. So I'm...
my thing is anybody really going to tell?
Until it's real, then they'll probably come out and be like, guess who together though? But yeah. But it is a good way for you to observe people because as you see how they respond to different answers, that kind of stuff, so you get some free information.
Yeah, and then you be like, that's not
exactly. And you can make some decisions without even investing too much emotionally, basically.
Right.
Yeah, so we talked about the challenges. What are some of the joys about being single?
So I like coming here and nobody's here, unfortunately. And it's very easy to get stuck in that mode where you could come home and it's just me. I like being able to get up and go when I want to. I ain't got to call nobody, even though my mama be like, why are you out at this time of night? Sometimes, but I have always been independent. So that when I was married, that was a challenge. Like, I got to call you and tell you where I am. But I learned that, when you get married, that is something you have to do. You should do. But now it's like peace and quiet. There's no drama in my house. If I don't want to eat dinner, if I want to eat popcorn for dinner, I can.
Right. Like my grandmother says, when you eat, your whole family eat. I'm like, yes, that's it. So what about for you, Rachel? What are some joys about being single?
I would say the same thing. Being able to come and go as you please. I mean, not having to check in with somebody. I think that's good. Sometimes you get in moods where you just kind of want to be by yourself. You don't want to necessarily have no interaction with anyone. Coming home, like you said, to a peaceful, quiet house. I think those are definitely some joys of it. And just being able just to have, just that freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom is a wonderful thing.
It is. And I think for me, it's everything that y'all have said. Like I'm an only child. I grew up as an only child. So I cherish time alone. Like I really need that time to just connect with myself. So I really enjoy having that extended period of time with myself that I can just be alone, come home, don't have to consider anybody else. And I think that's the next thing, just not having to consider anybody else other than myself. Like, let me think about what he may think about this, or just, no.
Oh, sure.
What I want to think about it. And then that's it, so yeah. So there are some joys, and we just get to go as we please. Like none of us have
children,
amen. So it's like we just get to travel if we want to just up and go, or hook up with each other during the week. We can do that, So some advantages to this thing.
Spend the money the way you want to.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah. Yep, that's a good one,
girl.
Because I've seen in situations where women would say, "Oh, let me check with my husband." And I'm like, "Oh, nah, see, when I'm ready to buy something, I'm ready to buy it."
Well, Rachel, you are gonna have to do that when you get married.
Whatever.
Now, come on.
Rachel's like, I don't know about that. Oh man. So all right. So let's talk about something that's been floating around social media. I don't know if you guys are watching, have seen this article from Tori Hart that talks about relationships. So what Tori Hart, who is Kevin Hart's ex-wife, what she said was most women would be okay with a man sleeping with another woman if he was upfront about it. Most women would be okay with the man sleeping with another woman if he was upfront about it. What y'all think about that?
She's stupid. No woman really wants that unless they feel like they can't do better than that. No woman is going to settle to be second best or the second person. And you know it. Nobody's like, really? That's what you want to be like, oh, I'm his main chick and she's the side chick, but we it's okay.
Yeah.
Are we getting tested regularly? What is really happening?
Yeah. I just feel like she may have that type of perspective. She's not the first woman who I've heard say that though. So she may have that perspective because of, the things that she's gone through with, Kevin. And but for me personally, and let's just say a man was honest with me to come and tell me that, per her and how she said it, then that's my sign then to dip out. I mean, my integrity won't allow me to do something like that. I mean, that's not the situation that, I would want to be in.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, it just sounds like her experiences, and that may be something that she's been accustomed to. I don't know about her having any other relationships outside of Kevin, but that's not something that's for me to entertain, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's not gonna work for me either. That would have to be a no.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that about their experiences, Rachel, because sometimes I think our experiences can shape our viewpoints of different things. So it's like if you've been in relationships where every man you've been with has cheated, then it almost makes you think where every man I'm going to be with is going to cheat. So I might as well just accept that because that's just how it is, and it's unfortunate that has happened, that people have adopted those type of mentalities. But yeah, I can't get down with that either, because what you're not going to do is come home and tell me.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
And the thing that got me about her is when she said, well, I see things differently. I just turned 40. I'm like, girl, no, don't be trying to put the age up in there. No. You see things differently. I mean, you have a lot of women who are 40 and who don't think like that or see it that way. Even if they have gone through the things that you've gone through, I'm sure that they want to be able to experience something that is nurturing and positive.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because I don't know if you've experienced, Ro, but I know I've experienced being cheated on. So it's like, that is not a good feeling. I would not want to intentionally go into that type of situation.
Exactly.
It's just like, no, because it's just so much that it creates. You're talking about the stories earlier, but the stories that it creates in your mind of, the trust issues that comes from that, is just, I don't want to have to deal with that. That's a lot of energy devoting to where is he, who is he with? No.
After what I went through being married, I can't. Cheating is no. That's a no for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah. So a lot of the women on here are saying definitely not. Nope, not for me. Yeah.
So I watched the Lost Boys unsung excellent episode, by the way. And Mr. Chief's wife was saying something similar, like she guessed she won because he wrote a song about cheating with some girl. I can't remember the name of the song. And she was like, I guess I won. You see who's still here. Don't do that. That's not.
No, we're not.
I don't. It's a.
Is he still cheating? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, probably so. That's why she said that. It's an ignorant mind frame.
Now that brings me to another question. So let's say you were in a relationship and you found out that your mate cheated on you, and he, maybe he told you, or maybe you found out through other means, and he was very remorseful about it and just shared that he wouldn't do it again and was willing to do whatever it took to work it out. Could you stay in that relationship?
I don't know.
Oh Lord!
I mean, honestly, let's just say too that I am actually able to view this what you're asking, Sharon, from a mutual friend, and she's contemplated divorce many times, but has not. And, there's obviously, the admitting of it, but they're continuing to reconcile and they're working it out. So she's been in the mind frame where she's always like, no, but it didn't necessarily result in anything beyond divorce or anything like that. And they're in their time of reconciliation. So I've also heard that, sometimes in relationships, women can get past it. I don't know how long it takes in terms of how that trust comes back, but I mean, it's been done. But I just know the way my heart is. I don't know, because to me, especially when you go so far to something like that in terms of forgiveness, I'm not so sure. But
so again, I'm about to put some business
because at that point, it will always be a trust issue with me, and I will always have something, in my head, like, will it happen again? And I don't know that I could deal with something like this, especially knowing how faithful I am, the faithful person that I am. So I'm not so sure, but I don't want to say per se, because you never know.
Yeah.
That's so I will say you never know until it happens to you, and then you be like, I can't believe this.
Right.
It's trying to make it. I would only do that if we were married, and then I would try to make it work. But there's some therapy that needs to happen. Some, like, I don't know. Like,
I agree.
Work needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because of what I went through before, I don't know that I could do it again, because that was the roughest 9 months of my life where I was like, I don't think that's hard. Because if you're, especially when I had opportunities to cheat and I'm still the faithful one, and then you out here with somebody else, and it's like you wasting my time.
Right. Because it's like I'm out here resisting them temptation and dodging all these bullets that's being thrown at me, and you just slinging it the way
and dodging.
Really, that's what we doing. We just gonna give it freely like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, but honestly though, I feel like, when I was married and went through that, it caught me off guard because I didn't see it coming, one. And then going through that, it opened up so many thoughts in my mind, just so much, that was going on. But even after all of that, I was still willing to work through it, but he wasn't willing to do it. Like, he had already moved, and he just didn't want to invest in the marriage anymore. So it was a part of me, I guess, the spiritual part that just wants to, continue and just forgiveness and stuff like that, and just work through it. So a part of me would say maybe, but, I don't know, after having gone through it, and then if I done told you what I done went through, and here
you go again, sir. No.
Listen, nah, I don't know.
I don't want to have call my mom and be like, I'm gonna need bail money.
Right. And these comments, y'all watch these comments, these things are hilarious. So Christy said, once a cheater, always a cheater. Charlize said, one what? Struggle love.
I can't see it.
Charlize said that we were talking about, you said the woman said she won. She said, won what? Struggle love?
Exactly.
And then Jennifer said, I don't think you know until you're in it. I really can't.
Right.
Yeah. And that's true. That's very
because
true.
I never thought, oh, Lord.
Yeah. Charlize said he's going to have to make an album like Jay-Z. Right. Yeah. Because you see
multiple albums.
Right.
That's interesting because we saw publicly. I mean, even though a lot of it was like hush hush, what him and her went through, but then they want to kind of release it through their albums and stuff like that. But I mean,
and make money off of it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, she for whatever reason forgave him. I mean, it looks like they trying to work it out. They had 2 more babies, so I don't know.
Yeah. Ro, your mom said somebody is going to die. Like all cats die in all cats. I know that's right.
Yeah, Hannah Mo don't play at all. Oh god.
At all, I can tell. And Erica said, I tried to work through it, but they continued cheating. So heck no, I'm not saying
Exactly. I'm out.
When it's repeated, it's like clearly you don't care about me. And so let me just move out the way and let you do what you want to do.
And now you look foolish.
Right. So Erica said the emotional and psychological damage it causes just isn't worth it. And that's the thing. It does do something to you emotionally and psychologically. It's like
it really will have you thinking you like crazy for real.
Yeah.
Like something is wrong with you.
Yep. And let me see. Christy said what the worst part is, even if you do leave the cheater, is going to continue to impact future relationships because it's always in the back of your mind.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And Malcolm, you came at the right time, Malcolm, because we're talking about cheating and let me tell you what we're talking about, Malcolm. Let me tell you what you think about this from a man's perspective, because we haven't had any men chime in. So Malcolm, we're talking about Tori Hart, Kevin Hart's ex-wife, and she said that what did she say? That most women would be okay with a man sleeping with another woman if he was upfront about it. So that's what we're talking about, Malcolm. So we're talking about cheating and the thought process about all of that. So yeah, chime in, cousin, because I know you got some.
Oh God!
But that's what she was saying. Like when she first started the conversation, that's why she likes the Muslim faith. That she can appreciate it, but I don't mean no harm. A lot of that goes on in third world countries.
Yeah.
We Americans, we don't play that. That's illegal here.
That was the Old Testament, honey. The Old Testament.
Yeah.
Under a new covenant, bless the Lord.
You're allowed to have 2 and 3 wives, when you're in them other countries and stuff. Ain't no Americans in America play that.
The free and the home and the brave.
Yeah. But I can't even imagine, like, even in biblical days, when you think about all those women and like what were you thinking? Like I can't even imagine the mindset that you have to be in to be okay with that and be like, oh, okay, it's my turn now. Well, did you get some of him? Okay, I'm gonna go get some of my night,
So one of my favorite shows is Sister Wives, because it's like watching the train wreck. Like I don't get it. I don't understand it. Well, I understand the work part and you got people to help run your life and all that. But sharing one man, I don't because you believe that's what God wanted. I don't know about that.
How do the men even deal with it? Because we are something else. Like we're a lot to deal with.
Well, and he says that, Cody, like I know these people. He says that, but Cody himself is a lie because they asked Cameron Hall used to do the after the reunion show, and she would ask about bringing a man in. Oh no, you can't do that. Well, where really?
Well, it's double standards like a mud.
Exactly. They have like 30 kids, 20 kids or something.
That's crazy.
I can't get down. I just can't do it. So, anywho, so we're on social media a lot. Like we talked about, we're in a single life group and we're in a part of other singles groups. And then we read articles about singles. We listen to sermons about relationships and all this kind of stuff. So with all the different stories and perspectives and experiences, what helps you to remain hopeful about your singleness?
I would say my faith in the Lord. I just feel like my life, and I truly know my life, that He determines my destiny. and I don't care about, you know, what people say in terms of my age. You know, I've gotten that quite a bit about me being old and you're going to be an old mama and, you know, all this stuff.
Well, my sister and I have already decided we're going to be the people that look like people grandmas on the playground this time.
Exactly. I agree. And you know what? My thing is this, you know, some people, you know, started early in age doing things, you know, and I'm not passing no judgment or anything like that. You wanted to start a family early, fine. You know, during that time, I was getting my schooling, you know, I was, you know, starting a career. Those are the things, you know, that were important to me. Mm-hmm. So I also too learned how to, because sometimes you can get a little, I don't want to say, maybe you can get disheartened when you see like, oh, this person started a family or this person is married or something like that. But my goal is just to focus on me, not to worry about, you know, them. Mm-hmm. Also, too, you may have the kids, you may have the marriage, but you also can be miserable. Mm-hmm. So, you know,
yes, you can.
And I'm over here on my single life being happy.
Yeah.
So I just continue to trust in the Lord and know that He is going to do what needs to get done, and His will be done at all times in my life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yes. Amen. Ro, what you got? What keeps you encouraged?
My faith, I'm cute, and God know I'm gonna need some help.
I'm cute. I know that's right.
I mean, it's pretty simple. God knows I can't do this by myself, Lord Jesus. The stuff that go on in my house, I had to call my sister, and my sister will know. She'll ask me one question, and she's probably laughing because she knows it is, like, if my day is completely off, she asks me one question, and I already know. I shouldn't have to call my sister for that.
Yeah.
Like, or my mother. Those are the people I text and be like, yeah, it's just not working for me.
Yeah.
So.
And I would say probably the same things that you guys have shared, but I will be honest. The fact that I just turned 40, all of us are 40 now, but just turning 40 this year, that is in the back of my mind because I do still desire to have children. Like that is a strong desire for me. So not being in a relationship, not really having any prospects, that does concern me, you know. But it's like you said, either I can let that frustrate me or be discouraged about it, or woe is me, I'm old and I ain't got no kids, no husband, and all that kind of stuff. Or I can, you know, be in community, like I said, and just can't reiterate that enough because it's so important to be in community with like-minded people who are going through the same things. And then also just my faith, like God, you knew how my life was going to end up. You knew that I was going to be this age and have these desires.
Right. And,
you know, you still have a plan for me, whatever it is, whether I have kids or not, but you have a plan for my life. So that's one of the things that keeps me encouraged. So faith, you know, is really important. It sounds like for all three of us, especially when we're bombarded with all kind of stuff, you know, all kind of stuff from the media and people saying, you know, your biological clock is ticking and all this kind of stuff. So we really have to, you know, be grounded and rooted in truth instead of all this stuff, because it can distract you if you let it.
Yep.
So what words of encouragement would you leave to those watching tonight who are struggling in their single season of life? What would you say to them?
You want me to go, Rachel, or you gonna go?
I mean, you can go, Ro. I gotta think. What would I say? Because as I'm encouraging them, I'm also going to be encouraging myself. So
right. And Rachel and Siobhan know the first thing I'm going to say is get out of the house. It doesn't have to be a party. It doesn't have to be, you know, do something so you're not sitting in the house, because these four walls can feel like they're closing in on you. And it's just you in here. Yeah. Get out and do something different. Meet some new people. You never know who is going to be around. When I first got divorced and when I was separated, meetup.com was my saving grace. I drove plenty of friends to stuff they did not want to go to just so I could get out the house. Also, have a support system, both married and single. I know people say married people shouldn't hang with single people like that. But I have married friends who have never once, I've gone on vacation with them by myself, who have never once made me feel like the third or fifth or sixth or seventh wheel, which I have been some of the time. I go to some stuff and then I don't have to go to some stuff when we're on vacation. They have parties at their house. I show up by myself. If I did have a date, they'd be like, who this person? Where you come from? But you have to have a strong support system. And have people who have realistic marriages.
Yes.
Not some Facebook ones.
Oh.
Or Instagram.
Yeah.
Because they'll be honest. Your real friends will be honest and be like, this is hard. But it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the real talk. Mm-hmm. Rachel, what you got? What kind of encouragement would you give to someone struggling in their single season?
Just to keep continuing to enjoy their life. One of the things that I always say to myself is, what is the lesson in this? Because there's a lesson in something. And during this time, during my singleness, there's a lesson, you know, whether it's working on me, whether it's learning myself, whether it's, you know, me, the Lord working patience in me, you know, whatever it is. Just enjoy your life. Get up, smell the roses. You know what I'm saying?
Buy your own roses.
There's no reason to, you know, mope around and feel bad about it. You know, I think society makes you feel bad about it, especially, you know, when you're a certain age. But, you know, it's not necessary. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a healthy thing. And just continue to be encouraged and live your life. Do things that you didn't think that you would be able to do, whether it's traveling, whether it's going back to school, whether it's starting a new career. Because I know, you know, a lot of quite a few of my married friends say, hey, you know, marriage is hard. And at that point when you're married, it's not about you anymore. So if you have the time right now to do what you want to do for yourself, you better do it.
Yep. And that's so true. And I will say this because it used to be me. Like I would be so focused on trying to get to the next thing that I would not pay attention to the joys in this current season. So I would be so focused trying to get to the man that I'm not embracing the beauty of this current season of my life. So that's something I'm learning how to do. Just slow things down and appreciate the season of life that I'm in. So I'm trying to do everything, just skating, parties everywhere, and, you know, having fun, going to Kentucky derbies and game nights with my single life crew, and just connecting and laughing and just doing stuff that I wouldn't normally do, you know, and just trying to even challenge myself to do something different, you know, so because I have the space and the time to do it. So
last year was my year of 40, and I was determined. People were just like, oh my gosh, you're turning 40, you're divorced, just don't have any kids. I was determined to have the best year of my life. Someone at work just mentioned to me yesterday my year of 40. Like she did something every month, every couple months. I was determined 40 is not the end. It's just the beginning of something else, something new. It's been fun. I've been having a great time.
I'm telling you, I've been having a blast. I done booked some trips. I'm about to get it in, about to go on that daggone plane, just not Southwest because I can't be sucked out the window. But
girl, look, the mother ones ain't that good either. So.
JetBlue when I went on to Florida, they was good. So I ain't messing.
Yeah, JetBlue got that good cable.
They do. The good internet. You can use it. I was on Facebook even up in the sky.
Yes, only do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but get out, have some fun, man. Get out the house, like Rose said. Enjoy your life, man. This is not, being single is not a death sentence. You are not cursed, you know, because you don't have no man and no woman. Like, shift your mindset about even being single. If you feel like, woe is me, I'm so lonely, I'm so all this, and you just feel bad and it's weighing you down, maybe you should shift how you're looking at it.
Send one of us a message if that's how you feel. They can send one of us a message if they feel like, and we'll talk to you and hang out or whatever we need to do.
Yes, or come in the group. Get in that single life group. Seriously.
Oh, Lord.
I'm telling you, come on in here. And
we got to tell people. Yeah. The disclaimer is it's all helpful information.
Yeah. No, but it's so fun though, because y'all know me. I'm a clown up in the group.
I'm gonna post me like, man, what? But it's so fun.
It's so fun. Yeah, it's genuine fun. And I mean, with the disclaimers, but no, Erica Carr be keeping us in check. If somebody get out of control, she keep us in check.
Y'all, I'm fine. That's y'all.
Oh, please.
I don't have them. I don't have them kind of issues. I read the rules.
You said right, because the rules are pinned at the top. Like if you just coming in, this is what happens.
Yeah, because you will get dropped from this group.
Right, exactly.
Sir or ma'am, pay attention.
Man. So
wait a minute, has anybody even got dropped?
Yes.
They have?
I think one person, or she might have just talked to him. I don't remember.
Some people leave on their own. Most people. Yeah, I don't know if anybody got booted out, but yeah,
well, it was one guy who got upset, I think, because he was like, "You don't want to date anybody in the group," and I was like, "That's not what the group is for."
Right. Like, get your life, sir.
Yeah.
So Malcolm said he's coming to the DMV to hang out with us soon. So that's gonna be
okay. Yeah, right, Malcolm.
Malcolm. Wait a minute, Malcolm better come. Shoot your shot, April 1st.
Oh Lord, Jesus.
Wait a minute, it's past April 1st, Malcolm. I forgot to slide up in that
Malcolm, look, Malcolm slid away from that real quick. He was like, "Oh, April 1st? What?"
Right?
I forgot.
I didn't. I reminded him and Erica.
Oh, you should have reminded me about that because I sure would have slid up in that bed.
No, then it's, I'm waiting for Jesus to send me the one. Please stop.
Y'all silly. No, so he gonna come up here and have fun with us.
Love you, Malcolm. Love you, mean it.
Look, I can't wait for that. I'm gonna put that on my calendar.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Yes. So yesterday, Tuesday was shoot your shot in the group. So
for some people,
yes, the shoot.
I didn't have nobody to shoot no shot at. So
even if they weren't in the group, and today, what was today? Wacky Wednesday, doing something. So we challenge each other is what I'm trying to get at.
And this is my Wacky Wednesday because I do not be on here telling. Well, I do tell my business, but not live and in color in front of my mother.
Not in front of the public for people to see.
I know, and my mama. Who is co-signing everything? No, mama.
Yeah, I love your mom. She is on here. She said she don't want to fly on Southwest either. She said she done with them.
Oh, because they keep delaying their flights and they be almost missing their vacation.
Oh man, well this has been so much fun. I thank you. Oh, he said April 1st, 2019. He said,
no, you know what? No. You know what, Malcolm? Go ahead with that.
Really? Stop it right now.
He said next year he gonna be ready.
Whatever. I'm gonna shoot my shot tonight. I'm gonna slide up in that DM tonight. What's today? April 21st. That's right. 2018, Malcolm.
Plus 20.
and you better reply, brother. Ain't nobody playing with you.
Oh God.
Shoot your shot, and even if you rebound, get back up.
Oh, yes, I'm gonna hit a layup in there and hit that 3-pointer.
Oh,
y'all so stupid. Oh my God. But I really appreciate y'all doing this. And we just wanted to have this honest, real conversation about being single. So if nothing else, you can see that we do have struggles and challenges, but we're having fun in the meantime,
Yes.
In the
I am the fun police.
Yes. The fun police, and I'm the single life fun monitor. Friday, I'm posting, get out that daggone house.
Please, your maid is probably not going to be the post office postman person or the UPS guy.
Right.
The cable guy.
They got good jobs, so they probably already got somebody.
Exactly. Oh man, so thank you. I really appreciate y'all doing this. I hope you laughed. I hope you were encouraged. I hope this helps you if you're single and you're watching this. This helps you on your single journey. So I do these conversations every Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I will have a repost because I have an event that I need to go to. I'm going to see Iyanla Van Zant, my auntie.
Beloved.
So I won't be posting any or doing a new one, but I'll have a repost up here next week. But I do these every Wednesday, 8:00, different special guests on. So Miss Hannah, every Wednesday I do these. That's the next.
Oh God.
Mama says she want to tune in. So that's what I need to do. I need to get a panel of guys. So I had the single ladies talk about being single in the city. So I need to do this with some guys. So I got to figure out who those guys will be. That's going to be just as entertaining as my sisters. So I'll figure that out. And for the next discussion, I'll have some men on here. So
that would be real nice. I'm going to tune in for that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, perspective. So thank y'all. Any last words y'all want to say to the people?
Get out the house. Because everybody's like, I don't want to do online dating, but you don't go nowhere.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Except the church.
Right.
And you typically don't want to date anybody from your own church. And we don't really be having them afternoon services like we used to, where everybody drive and take the van and stuff. So
get out the house, basically.
Thank you.
Oh, so anything you want to say? Last words, Rachel?
No, I mean, just like what Rose said, get out the house, enjoy yourself, and enjoy single life.
Okay.
Keep hope alive.
Yes.
Michelle Williams just got engaged.
She did. He real cute too. Yes, Red.
With a 5-carat ring. Amen.
But he saved up for a long time. 11 years, I think he saved up for it. Get it.
Really?
Yes.
I want him to spend it on my house or something. I don't know if I want that ring, but it's fine. Whatever, you know. A lot of money.
Let that girl have that ring.
But that's fine. That's what they want to do. Yeah, congratulations to Michelle and Chad Johnson on their engagement. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Love it. Keep hope alive. There's hope for us.
I'm telling you.
And we're going to have fun in the process. So thank y'all. I will see y'all online. I appreciate y'all doing this.
Okay. Bye, Shavon. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.